On August 7th, 2025, Big Hit Music finally and officially introduced its long anticipated new boy group, Cortis, Cortis, through the launch of the group's social media channels. And we're gonna look at some of these footage that the members or Big Hit slash Cortis uploaded on TikTok, and already they have gained 63.1k followers. And I think this is also an official account, Cortis underbar Big Hit. This is the X account with 21.1k followers. Oh yeah, followed by HYBE Official and Big Hit Music. There you go. Now, this actually marks Big Hit's first rookie team in 6 years, following the debut of Tomorrow by Together, TXT, in 2019. Okay? Now, the name Cortis is derived from the phrase color outside the lines. Okay, this is according to the official press release, symbolizing the idea of thinking freely and breaking away from conventional standards. The group's name was crafted by pulling 6 irregular letters from that phrase, representing a mindset that refuses to be boxed in by the rules or expectations of the world. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. But now we're gonna figure out what that really means by looking into these videos that they uploaded. But before that, this is interesting because just the day before, on August 6th, 2025, during HYBE's Q2 second quarter 2025 earnings call, which I live streamed through my channel, the company's leadership, namely CEO Lee Jae-sang, briefly and but meaningfully turned the spotlight to this group because one of the analysts asked them about it. Okay, and this is what they said. And this is the English interpretation of what he said.
I'm CEO. Let me answer your question. First of all, a new boy group from Big Hit Music, which is a label for BTS and Tomorrow by Together, will debut very soon, and the date has already been announced. It's August 18th, and we are expecting that this group will bring in a huge fresh air to the music industry in terms of their production method, their life stories, and their music philosophies. And the way they will be revealed will also be a very novel way. Big Hit Music has been known as a label with innovative ideas, and it has been representing the voices of the time and the dreams and hopes of fans of the era. That has been the key DNA of this label. So in terms of how this group will debut and the showcase, and as well as the first meeting with fans, will be quite different. So we ask for your support.
So there you go. What do you think? This is actually funny because you can rewatch this earnings call if you go to live category on my channel. It's hilarious because I was looking at what people write in the chat room, and so many people were saying, did they already talk about the Big Hit new boy group? Did they do that? And then it was then I realized that, oh wow, the anticipation is very high. So, CEO Lee Jae-sang described the group as one that will bring a huge breath of fresh air to the music industry, while citing their unique production methods, personal narratives, and musical philosophies as defining elements. And it seems like those aren't just corporate buzzwords because they are already being reflected in how this group is introducing itself to the world. So, for example, take this TikTok reel featuring their logo sound. So what you're seeing here is Martin, one of the group members, using his actual music production software, and this is called a DAW, Digital Audio Workstation, to literally draw the word Cortis using MIDI notes. And how do I know it's Martin? Because that was from the official press release right here. This is the software that Martin uses. Now, each pink block that you see right here on the piano roll represents a note, a musical note. How do I know it? Because I have used, I'm a producer and I also write music and make music. But instead of composing a melody in the traditional sense, he arranged the notes so that they spell out the group's name like this. And here's the cool part. When those notes are played back, you hear a sound, an ambient and atmospheric synth. And so the group's name becomes both a visual and a sonic identity. And this is more than just an announcement, it's a statement. Like, we are sound and we are creators, and even our logo is music. So let's play that one more time. That's pretty cool, ain't it? So this kind of approach, where visual art, sound design, and self-production are all layered into one, fits perfectly with what HYBE executives said in their earnings call, that this group will debut in a very novel or new or different way, and that their philosophy is about thinking beyond the norm. And it's pretty minimalistic, but deeply intentional, I feel like. No dancing, no flashy teaser sets, just a screen, a DAW, and a sound. And it already says so much about who Cortis is. Of course, I'm pretty sure they will eventually, reveal more like official looking teasers, but still, I love it because this alone sends a message that this is a team made of creators. And that ethos continues in the behind the scenes videos that followed. For example, check this out. Oh. Hey. 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 Huh. Oh, I love it. Hey, there you go. Big hit music. So these clips perfectly capture the raw creative energy that HYBE teased in their earnings call. And this was also included in the press release articles. Okay, so we see like one member sitting at a laptop with a massive mixing console in the foreground, and another is seen at a keyboard adjusting synth settings probably and captured through a fisheye lens. And this kind of footage feels authentic, almost like you're in the studio with them. And instead of a polished concept trailer, the video feels like a peek behind the curtain. They're filming each other, laughing, experimenting, and almost importantly, creating. So that fits their young creators' identity perfectly. And again, there's no choreographed dance, no stylized lighting, no CG, just people and music and machines. And this feels deliberate, as if to say, we don't need to pretend to be artists because we already are. And pulling this together with the MIDI logo post that I just talked about, you can tell this group is being positioned not as a product, but as a process. They're showing their beginnings, like the brainstorming, the trial and error, and the real life mess of creativity before the polished music video or debut stage even drops. I love it. Let me watch that one more time. Fisheye lens, huge console, mixing board, vibing. Yep, playing the instruments, keyboard, synths. Hey, filming each other. Hey, vibing. Martin and big hit music. There we go. Yeah, that's rare. And honestly, really effective. At least for me, who sincerely loves and believes in music, because it builds trust and curiosity at the same time. And they're not just saying we are different. They're showing it in the most natural way possible. And then there's this glass wall. Right here. Want to get to know us? Join the bulletin board and stay in the loop. So if you look at all the letterings, what you're seeing is likely one of their workspaces or a creative like brainstorming room or something. Like the glass wall is covered in bright neon marker doodles and random phrases like spin or like yeah or no money Pump It Up, James and Martin, we see the names of the two members, Bra, Team Bot, Going to the Stars, Clubhouse, Oh What, No Baby. So yeah, even a wild pink cartoon, Wolf, at the bottom. And it is giving like garage band energy meets Gen Z tumble brain in the best way. And this kind of visual tells you a few things. First of all, like I said, the group is self-aware and playful. Nothing about this is trying to be polished or perfect. It's more like a shared creative sketchbook thrown onto a wall. And it's layered with like inside jokes and randomness. You get the sense that every member probably added something personal to it, like a lyric idea, a catchphrase, a nickname, or just a doodle for fun. And the vibe is really anti-formula. Instead of rehearsing a concept in front of the camera, they're showing the chaos before the concept. It's messy, it's loud, but also authentic. The kind of energy that says we are making our own rules. So yeah, this board looks like a visual metaphor for how Cortis is being introduced, not as finished idols or products, but as artists in motion. And they're showing us the creative process, raw, something fun, and still unfolding, and letting fans be part of it from day one. And yeah, none of this is traditional K-pop rollout material. It seems like because there are no polished teaser photos, no cinematic concept trailers yet. But instead, what we're getting is something far more intimate, a look inside the actual process. Okay, so I absolutely love it because that alone marks a significant shift in debut culture. In an industry often centered on perfected performance and high concept narrative, Cortis is going the other way. They're not selling mystery. Well, they're kind of selling mystery, but they're inviting curiosity rather. And as HYBE put it, the way Cortis will meet their fans through debut stages, showcases, and digital storytelling will be quite different or quite novel. And what we're already seeing is a kind of authenticity that's rare in pre-debut eras. So I absolutely love it. Now, fans are already digging deep into every corner of the internet to learn more about the five members. That is Martin, James, Juhoon, Seonghyeon, and Keonho. And official, unofficial profile pages like Kpop profiles have already compiled what seem to be every early bios and facts about each member. And while it's pretty exciting to finally get names, birthdays, and even MBTI types, we do want to say this clearly, that take all of this with a huge grain of salt. Nothing has been confirmed by HYBE or Big Hit Music directly. But that said, let's talk about what is floating around, because if even half of this is true, it gives us a fascinating glimpse into what kind of team Cortis could be. So among the five members, Martin, James, Juhoon, who was it? Seonghyeon, and Keonho. It's Martin and James who are already drawing the most early attention. Because both have been involved in the production of major releases for some of HYBE's most successful teams before even setting foot on stage themselves. And that's what I'm really impressed by. So starting with Martin, reportedly born in 2008 and of Canadian-Korean descent, is said to have produced or co-written a series of high-profile tracks. Deja Vu and Miracle for TXT's Minute 3 Tomorrow, which is an album I dearly love, and Magnetic for Alice's debut EP Super Real Me, and Piero from Le Seraphim's Crazy, and Outside from ENHYPEN's Desire, Unleash. And I have confirmed this. All right, check this out. So this is the Minute 3 TXT album, and I have highlighted right here. James. No, actually, sorry. Did I say James or Martin? Martin. Okay, yes. So Martin for Deja Vu, Miracle, and Deja Vu, the Anamoya remix. Okay? And then check this out. So this is the Le Seraphim fourth mini album, Crazy, track list. And for Piero, I love that track. Martin is listed. Possibly a top liner, meaning writing like melodies, or possibly lyricist, but who knows. Also for Super Real Me of Islet's debut album, Magnetic. Oh my goodness, this guy wrote or even produced Magnetic before even debuting. That is amazing. And also ENHYPEN's album Desire Unleash. He was listed as one of the composers for Outside. And that level of credit is rare, even among seasoned idol producers. Like for a teenager, that's almost unheard of. Now, James is the oldest member and a former trainee A participant, and he shares some of those same credits. He's also listed as having worked on TXT's Deja Vu and Miracle and Islet's Magnetic, suggesting that he and Martin may have co-produced or been in the same creative sessions. And he's multilingual and born in Hong Kong, and he reportedly speaks Thai, Chinese, English, Korean, and even a little Japanese, positioning him as both an international bridge and a potential vocal or rap contributor. So we'll have to see. Now, the rest of the group brings their own set of intriguing stories. For example, Juhoon, born in 2008, is described as a former child model and basketball player with a background in both Korean and English. And Seonghyeon, born in 2009, remains the most low-profile of the 5 members, but perhaps deliberately so. So we'll have to look into, what becomes revealed later on. And Keonho, the youngest member, has a background in competitive swimming and joined BIGHIT music as early as 2021. Okay, again, take this with a huge grain of salt, and credit to this website, kprofiles.com. Now, what really stands out, though, is how young they are. All 5 members are teens, with the youngest born in 2009. 2009, February 14th. Yet, if even a portion of these reported, these credits are accurate because it was released by HYBE themselves. But yeah, they're not being positioned as rookies who might grow into artistry. They're debuting with it already built in. And that is an amazing part, and which is what I'm looking forward to the most. And that, again, fits perfectly with what HYBE said during their Q2 earnings call, that Cortis, this group, will bring a new philosophy of production, storytelling, and fan engagement, and that the debut itself will be unlike anything we have seen before. Okay? Still, let's be responsible. Again, these profiles are unofficial, and as we have seen with some past pre-debut rumors, things can change. So the best way to know for sure is to watch how Cortis chooses to introduce themselves once debut season fully kicks off. All right. Now, naturally, attention is building, but it's not just fans who are watching closely. It's their label mates too. Their 선배님s, SBNs. So check this out. At a press showcase held on July 21st for their 4th full album, The Name Chapter Together. I love that album. I have already reviewed it on my channel. Go check it out if you're interested. Tomorrow by Together, TXT, were asked about the new team, their 후배, their 동생, Cortis, and their answers were full of warmth, encouragement, and even a little awe. Okay, so Beomgyu said, "We met them recently, and they're such a cute and cool group. I really want to support everything they will do in the future." And he also reflected on the mentorship he received from BTS, saying, "The BTS Hyungs always supported us and took good care of us when we were starting out. Now I want to be that kind of senior for our juniors." Aww. And Hyunin Kai added, "I saw them twice, once 2 months ago and again just yesterday. They were saying how much they want to show the world their performance. And honestly, after seeing them in person, I was seriously impressed. I wanted to lock them in a compliment jail. I love that phrase. You can definitely look forward to their debut. And these aren't just generic nice statements. I think they reflect genuine investment in the next generation of the label, from artists who understand what it means to debut under the weight of global attention. And I also saw this footage of these members attending J-Hope's concert on June 13th, which is a date celebrating BTS anniversary. Right? Hey. Dude. I love them vibing to the music. So I'm really looking forward to the Big Hit's family ship, brotherhood from now on. So that will be exciting. So Cortis is scheduled to debut on August 18th. We have 11 days left. And all 5 members, according to the press release, are in their teens and are being introduced as a young creator crew. Each member is expected to take part in various aspects of the group's artistry, including songwriting, composition, choreography, and even videography. The group is already being recognized not just as performers, but as self-driven creatives. And the countdown to August 18 is on. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts, but of course, keep it kind and open-minded. Their debut feels like it's going to be something really different, at least from my perspective. And let's find out what they are all about. Okay, so drop your thoughts, but as always, when you write comments, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.